Grand Rising and welcome to another segment of CLG View Point. I am Cindy Lorraine Grais, and it is an absolute honor to have you here today. Today it's Thursday, April the 3rd, 2025. And under natural law in the Kingdom of Canada, it is Divina Vita, which means divine life. Day 3, year 0035. So under the new Kingdom of Canada's calendar, Divina Vita, divine life, which is the month of April, day 3, the year 0035, which is year 35. Something to check into under natural law, the Kingdom of Canada's new calendar. Well, today we will be covering on Health Sense, a video on sunglasses health. International news, Putin assesses partnership with China. Local news, Saskatchewan man charged after Europol takedown of Netflix child porn streaming site. $115 million and 23 months later, Tulsa Hydro returns to service. Low-income advocates protest New Brunswick's Power's 9.7% rate hike. Diavik produces 158.20 carat diamond. Miracle of nature, they call this diamond. Each segment I start with a sage clearing. For some of you who haven't heard of a sage clearing, it's a process where I clear negative entities from our space. Light up a sage too, which I grow in my garden. It's easy to grow and it does smell really nice. Okay. To low energy entities, you're sent back to your perfect place. Only divine love and divine welcome. Divine welcome. Only divine love and divine light is welcome. And so it is. Divine love and divine gratitude. Well, on to our video under Health Sense. The truth about sunglasses.
Triggering a massive increase of cancers. It has everything to do with cancer. You are filtering out certain rays of the sun, which is supposed to enter. You're blocking them out. And the pineal gland, which receives the light in a different color formation, that means the entire spectrum of light. It is necessary for the body to have that light, the basic metabolic processes. Also, you have to allow UV light to come in. When you do that, you are producing a hormone in the brain that is responsible for the melanin production in your skin. So that's where your skin protection occurs. If you are not producing that, your skin becomes susceptible to even sunlight. Let's say you wear sunshades. The body thinks it's dark outside.
Okay.
And it doesn't make that hormone that is responsible for producing the melanin to protect your skin. The light is needed. Every cell communicates with every other cell through light. Our cells require sunlight to grow, reproduce themselves, so that you have a new, body constantly created over and over and over again.
Now on to international news. Putin assesses partnership with China. Cooperation between the two countries have been a great success. The Russian leader has said, RT News, April 1st, 2025. Russia and China have a great track record of working together on the world stage, Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Tuesday. He made the comments during a meeting with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi in the Kremlin. We would like to express satisfaction with the way our relations are developing, including with the direct support of our respective foreign ministries, he said. Putin added that he will meet with the Chinese President Xi Jinping during World War II victory celebrations in Moscow on May 9th. We will have an opportunity to discuss the current state of bilateral relations and our interaction on international venues, primarily the UN Security Council, as well as the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, BRICS, and a number of other platforms where we work together with great success, Putin said. Wang stressed that bilateral relations are based on mutual trust and that both countries will continue to safeguard the common interests of both sides in international and regional affairs. The Chinese-Russian cooperation is never directed against any third party and is never subject to external interference, Wang said. Wang had a separate meeting with the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Tuesday. The sides exchanged opinions about the prospects of resolving the Ukraine crisis. They stressed the need to neutralize the root causes of the conflict, the Russian foreign minister said on its website. Beijing has refused to blame Russia for the Ukraine conflict and condemned the Western sanctions on Moscow, accusing the U.S. of having a Cold War mentality based on confrontation. My personal thoughts: peace has already been achieved under natural law. Local news: Saskatchewan man charged with Europol takedown of KidFlix, a child porn streaming site, by Rory McLean, published April 2nd, 2025. A Saskatchewan man faces child pornography charges following a globe-spanning operation to shut down KidFlix, one of the largest child sexual exploitation platforms in the world. Saskatchewan's Internet Child Exploitation ICE unit teamed up with Europol in the investigation, led by the State Criminal Police of Bavaria and the Bavarian Office for the Prosecution of Cybercrime, the Saskatoon Police said in the news release Wednesday. Over 35 countries worldwide participated in the operation, which police say followed a March 11th seizure of a server by German and Dutch authorities that contained about 72,000 videos of child sexual abuse material. Police say KidFlix served a massive audience. Around 1.8 million people logged on the platform between April 2022 and March 2025. According to Europol, this is the largest ever investigation by its child sexual exploitation experts. European cybercrime analysts processed over 91,000 videos for evidence in the course of the operation to provide evidence to partners across the globe. The digital dimension has driven a rapid evolution in online child sexual exploitation, offering offenders a borderless platform to contact and groom victims, as well as to create, store, and exchange child sexual and abuse material, Europol Director Catherine DeBall said in a news release. Some attempt to frame this as merely a technical or cyber issue, but it is not. There are real victims behind these crimes, and those victims are children, are VIPs. As a society, we must act to protect our children. Investigators were able to identify almost 1,400 suspects in countries around the world. 79 have been arrested so far. In Saskatchewan, the project, dubbed Operation Stream, led to one arrest. On March 27, ICE investigators executed a search warrant at a Regina residence and arrested 23-year-old Edmund James Belgrade Jr. Belgrade faces 2 charges for accessing and possessing child pornography. He was released on conditions and will appear again in court on May 14th in Regina. My personal thoughts. All who commit crimes against humanity, especially against our VIPs, our children, they will be tried under natural law. Low-income advocates protest New Brunswick's Power's 9.7% rate hike. CTV News, written by Derek Haggett, published April 1st, 2025. A small but passionate group of people gathered in downtown Moncton, New Brunswick, Tuesday afternoon to protest New Brunswick Power's latest rate increase. New Brunswick Power raised residential rates by 9.7%, the same increase that was applied a year ago on April 1st, 2024. The Crown Corporation applied for a 2-year general rate application in December of 2023, and the New Brunswick Energy and Utilities Board approved the changes last November. Members of the Association of Community Organizations for Reform, now ACORN, held a rally on Main Street to advocate for the end of energy poverty. And on to the video.
Both anti-poverty advocates gathered today to protest what they say is a big rate increase from NV Power.
We know that for people of low and moderate income, there is no way that they can afford it.
NV Power raised residential rates by 9.7%, the same increase that was applied a year ago today. The Crown Corporation applied for a 2-year rate increase back in 2023 and was later approved by the New Brunswick Energy and Utilities Board.
Nobody should ever have to make a choice between food, rent, groceries, and hydro.
NV Power says over 50% of the rate increase is attributed to improving the reliability of generating systems, modernizing the grid, and other factors.
Things like population growth, the clean energy regulations that we're working towards, our aging infrastructure that we're dealing with, and climate change as well.
But the 9.7 increase, just too much for many to bear.
For my rent, I have to pay my rent plus utilities, so this is going to affect me and a lot of other people who don't have that included on their rent.
It's a lot, man. Like, there's so many people that are struggling with, like, getting their regular rent paid, and it's just, they don't need to be doing that.
It is quite high, but I feel with aging infrastructure and inflation that's out there, NB Power is in a stuck between a rock and a hard place, I think.
Clark says the cost of everything is going up, including electricity.
We have to cover the cost of providing service. We are basically break even in terms of our revenues covering our costs.
NB Power says energy efficiency programs and equalized payment plans are available for anyone struggling to pay their bill. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
My personal thoughts. Absolutely horrendous. Upping the costs for hydro when electricity is free under natural law. We do have natural resources that can pay for electricity. But we also do have free energy coming up here. Suppressed technology. All will be held accountable for this overcosting to the people. $115 million and 23 months later, Charleston Hydro returns to service. Cabin Radio, written by Ollie Williams, Tuesday, April 1st, 2025. The Charleston Hydro plant that powers South Slave communities is back in operation almost 2 years after being taken offline for work that was supposed to take 6 months. The Northwest Territory Power Corporation announced the hydro system's return to functionality on Tuesday. The final cost of the work is now expected to be more than $115 million, up from an initial budget of around $70 million. A federal grant of $17.8 million will bring that sum down to about $98 million that NTPC and its ratepayers must cover. Charleston was shut down in May of 2023 for replacement of a turbine and generator, said to have reached the end of their lives. The hydro plant was built in 1965 and has served the entire South Slave since 1986. Initially, NTPC hoped to have Tolson back up and running with new parts by October 2023. Instead, a series of delays and problems kept the plant offline until testing began in recent weeks. Meanwhile, a combination of low water levels throughout the drought-hit Northwest Territories and Tolston's absence sent diesel use in the territory soaring. Trouble at Tolson began when a wildfire struck the site during the devastating summer of 2023, several months into the overhaul. A series of technical issues followed, such as a significant alignment issue that the Power Corporation said experts spent months trying to figure out. The refurbished hydro facilities is once again providing primary power to the Fort Smith Fort Resolution Hay River Enterprise and the Ketodich First Nation, NTPC announced on Tuesday. Even now, the Power Corporation said an interim solution to technical issues that were identified earlier this year is in place to allow Tolston's return. Later this month, NTPC will have to take the plant offline again for a brief period to install the permanent solution. The final cost of the project includes about $70 million in overhaul work and approximately $45 million in fuel and other operational costs required to keep the lights in the South Slave, on which Tolson Hydro was offline, NTPC stated. My personal thoughts. Do you think that the political officials mismanaged and were fiscally irresponsible with the monies for the project? Delays, delays, and delays? A full forensic audit will give full detail on all transactions and money spent. What do you think? Diavik, yes, Diavik produces 158.20 carat miracle of nature diamond. Cabin Radio News, written by Ollie Williams, Tuesday, April 1st, 2025. Rio Tinto says workers at the Northwest Territories Diavik diamond mine have unearthed one of the largest gem-quality yellow diamonds ever discovered in Canada. Diavik is expected to close next year after 22 years of production. Fresh from announcing the discovery of a 50-million-year-old log, Rio Tinto said on Tuesday it has now found a 158.20 carat rough diamond at Diavik, one of the only 5 yellow diamonds weighing more than 100 carats ever unearthed at the mine, the company added. Normally, Diavik produces white gem quality diamonds. Less than 1% of its production involves rare yellow diamonds, Rio Tinto stated. Diamonds like these are estimated to be billions of years old. In a press release, Diavik Chief Operating Officer Matt Breen called this one a miracle of nature and a testament to the skill and fortitude of the mine's staff. My personal thoughts. Now that there is this discovery of a 158.02 carat diamond, do you think that they will keep the mine open? In Canada, we have an abundance of natural resources, enough so that every Canadian will never have to pay personal taxes. Yes, every Canadian. Under natural law, it is time for the political officials to do what is asked of them and implement the full scale of the laws that are decreed under natural law. Now I have a video, the Northwest Territory diamond mine. I am Cindy Lorraine Grais of CLG Viewpoint, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for you being here today with me. If you feel compelled to, please share this forum. Enjoy. Have a wonderful day and see you on Friday, April the 4th, 2025. I have a message on Canada's natural resources. Enjoy this show. Until we meet again, this little video.